I want to talk about this team first of all because this was, I thought, number one, a fantastic college basketball game. I know the Seahawks are playing today, but for the people who came in here and watched this game, to see the energy in the building from Washington's crowd, the pace, the ferocious pace that we set early in the game, and for them not to break, to come right back up on us and play that fast, as big as they were, I just thought it was a tremendous college basketball game. I'm real proud of guys like Devontae Lacey, who's from over in this area, who made the journey to Washington State, has not had a lot of success, and to come back here in his senior year, play that well and get a W. And I'm real proud of this team. This was a team that I was told couldn't defend. The numbers told you that the last couple of years. Couldn't shoot it. The numbers told you that the last couple of years. Couldn't shoot free throws. Their numbers told you that the last couple of years. But yet, we took them. We put our arms around them. We let them empty their backpack of all of that negative stuff. And I'm just happy for them that they're coming of age right now. And that's the fastest we've played. That's as fast as any Oregon team I've had that could play that fast. And that was a tremendous offensive effort to get up and down like that and only have 10 turnovers in the game. Washington, you know, to be down 0-2 in the conference and coming back home with their students back, we knew it was going to be a tough game. And that's why the win was so much bigger for us because of what was at stake for them. And it's tough to beat a team on their home floor. And I thought they battled us right down to the last 2 or 3 possessions. The growth of our program, you know, we didn't handle Cal so well in the last 2 minutes, yet we were perfect in the last 2 minutes of this game. I'm hoping that it sends a message to a lot of young players. There's 2, 3 really great programs in the state, and Eastern Washington State is 4 of them that are here and everything. And we're just one that in the past, maybe people look and say they want to make their journey over there. You can come to Washington State and get a great education and play that up-tempo, fun basketball. And that's important for us to establish that message that you have another program in this state for people to root for.
Ernie, Arabu gave you a nice lift today.
You know, for him to give up the ball and not start at the point and start the game over at the 2 and play with the energy and then come back to the ball, that's hard to do. And he's done it because he's a very unselfish young man. He went through a lot last week with the technical foul and everything that he got called on in timeout. But he was the difference in the game because he got us running. And he set a ferocious pace to the game. I call him a poor man's version of Russell Westbrook. And I told him, just go be Russell Westbrook. And I thought he did a great job of just getting up and down the floor and establishing the pace we want to play at.
Brett's been kind of a complimentary player, but for about 10 minutes this game, he was the guy you were leaning on offensively.
Well, not only that, but he had to defend Kemp. And I mean, think about the size and strength difference, and he did a wonderful job on him. And when Q Johnson and him were on the floor together, and I feel like there's a game in every player. I always believe that. My job is to bring it out of them. And those 2, I think, hit 3 threes between the 2 of them at one time. That's just huge. Dexter played well. It just seems like we're starting to push the right buttons, and everybody's stepping up, and everybody's giving you something. So I was proud of Brett because, again, another one of those players haven't played a lot, haven't had a lot of success, haven't really believed in himself. He's a really good player. He's limited in some things, but he gives you everything in his tank. And he did the same thing in this game. Probably been one of our most consistent players the last 4 or 5 games.
When you have a guy step up like that, how much easier does that make to kind of impress those messages of confidence and that it's a clean slate for everyone when a guy like Brett really takes advantage of it?
Well, I think this team knew that from a while back when they went on their retreat. I think in practice every day, the way they battled, they're a great chemistry team. So our strength is in our numbers. And that's why we can go so deep on that bench and still get production because they believe in each other, they get along well, they encourage each other, which is difficult for young people to do in this day and age. So that helps everybody's confidence. When a guy like Nye Redding is sitting over that bench, he's our biggest cheerleader sitting over there coming down the stretch of the game and in all the huddles. That's huge. That's huge.
Did it feel like you really took upshot out of the game later on?
I thought the thing that we tried to do with the game was take the bigs out of the game, but the speed of the game. Because they were at one end of the floor while we were making plays, therefore they couldn't be shot blockers because we got down the floor so fast, and that was our game plan. So at the end of the day, and I told this to my staff, it's the reason you come back to coaching, for the chess match, for what goes on in the game, for getting young people to believe in themselves and believe in you, for these great battles over here. But we executed a great game plan today.
How tough is it to guard Willens Goss when he's able to get inside and use his body?
It's extremely tough because he's got a great body. We put Q Johnson on him the last couple of possessions and did a good job on him. He took away the last possession because he had a bigger, longer guard on him. And and we made that adjustment in that last timeout, and it kind of slowed him on that last possession. But he's so good at getting in the lane and finishing. He's a tough matchup for anybody. I thought he had a great game. Great game.
Ernie, what did you set up on the inbounds play to Hawkinson on the three-point play?
A slip. This Washington team does a great job of switching all over the floor. They make it tough for you to run out of bounds plays because they switch everything. So the slips were there. Even in the half court, they were starting to switch in our motion offense, and the slips were there, and we got that one on the out of bounds play. I said, read the slip is going to be there, and sure enough, he makes a great play, and Ike makes a great pass.
The tempo in the perimeter game you guys played with took their bigs out of the game a little bit. So is that a little quicker than you would normally like to play, or is?
And you'll hear me say this all the time. We want to play even faster. The faster we play, the better, because we've got shooters, and the speed game allows you to play your numbers, keeps your chemistry great. As long as guys have their games and you put them into that game, it's hard to guard that. And again, if you think about my teams in the past, that team ran harder than any team I've coached in the past. They did a terrific job of getting themselves up and down the floor. And so the speed of the game needs to be faster for us. The faster, the better.
Ernie, if somebody had said late in December, you're going to go on the road, your first 3 games, you're going to win 2 of them, would you have taken that?
You know, when I looked at the schedule, I was worried about opening up the preseason on the road, particularly at UTEP, TCU, and then coming home and then going back out to Anchorage for a young team that you're trying to bring confidence in and put the system in. And then you looked at conference play, knowing how tough this conference is to do that. But as we started to come through the preseason, each game gives you a little bit more belief. But if you had told me that back there, I would have said, no, that's just going to be difficult for this team to do until they grow up. Well, they've grown up. They've grown up and they're playing some outstanding basketball. Fun to coach, fun to watch. Okay?
Thank you.